Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB closing time show Friday, June 4th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, and a Friday appearance today from our special guest, Jose Bouquett. Earlier this week, wasn't able to join us because he's attending the Red Sox and the Astros, watching his Red Sox yesterday deliver the goods and avoid a sweep against Houston. So good news for Jose with that. Hopefully good news for the Friday card in terms of picks and prognostications from the three of us. So let's get to it. Cleveland and Baltimore to start it off. We've got the lefty on the mound for the Orioles, Keegan Aiken taking on Giancarlo Mejia on the mound for the Cleveland Indians in this matchup here. So we'll see how it goes. We've got pretty close to even money price here, 9 the total in this one. We'll have to wait and see how this goes here for Mejia. This is a guy that's actually been around the block quite a bit going into this start for the Cleveland Indians. He's a guy that's actually pitched for them since 2013, and he's really been bounced around for a lot of years in the minor leagues. So the question is going to be, what can he do here at the major league level? The good news is he finally made his major league debut a few weeks ago and did pitch well in relief appearances. He had a few of them, and over that stretch, he gave up just 1 hit in 5 innings and struck out 7. So he showed you a good swing and miss ability. And look, Baltimore, none of these major league teams have seen him a whole lot. So you would think he's got the chance to pitch decently here against Baltimore. We'll have to wait and see. He'll probably only go 4 innings, maybe 5. Keegan Aiken, on the other hand, for Baltimore, 4.8 ERA on the season. It'll be his second start of the season. I'm very, very shocked. He went 4.2 innings and only gave up 1 run in his first start against the White Sox. Nobody really saw that coming against the lefty mashing White Sox lineup, but give Keegan Aiken credit for that. And now he's facing a Cleveland team that doesn't hit lefties the way the Chicago White Sox do. So it's a really, really tricky game because I don't like Aiken a whole lot, but he pitched well his last start against a better lineup. I don't know if Cleveland's got the same potency to do damage. And on the flip side, Mejia has been good in these little relief appearances for Cleveland. So back and forth on this game, probably not betting it, but interesting to see how Mejia fares, and Aiken for that matter, because he shocked me with how he pitched against Chicago in his last start. Connor, we lost you for a sec. He's back. Connor, what do you like here, Baltimore, Cleveland?
Man, I don't like anything in this game. I think I'm going to stay away. Especially yesterday wasn't a bad day. I just get best bet lost. Padres won. I'm going to stay away. In games like this, I want no involvement. Aiken pitched well against the White Sox. Can I get this guy out of my head? I had a newspaper. My dad was in California. I opened it up. He brought it home from Redding, California. I opened it up, and it's Keegan Aiken as a minor leaguer, and the buzzsaw something. So I want nothing to do with Keegan Aiken. If I play this one, I'd be on the Indians here, minus 108 with Mejia. He's looked pretty good, but this is a pass for me. I'm off.
It is a pass. I want to fade Aiken, but I can't do it with Cleveland against a light hitting lineup against lefties. Yeah. And Mejia has been good, but he's still been a journeyman. You know, he's been around for quite a few years, but he has been good in relief, which is good. And that means that against a lineup like Baltimore, maybe Giancarlo Mejia can come in here and have success. But just a game all around, there's too many questions. And if it's too many questions and I don't have answers, I don't bet it. Jose, what do you think here, Baltimore, Cleveland?
Yeah, I didn't know these guys existed before today, so I'm off. Just keep it plain and simple.
Sounds good.
Fair enough. All right, on we go. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. We've got the big series here in the AL East this week. And Eovaldi, Michael King, your matchup here. We've got the Yankees minus 116, minus 120 home favorites, total 9 here across the board. Yankees get bombed by Tampa Bay yesterday, who, as Conor Mac said off the air, I mean, it just seems like they beat Garrett Cole, the Rays, for some reason. And it happened again yesterday for them. We'll see how they bounce back here tonight against the Red Sox, who got a much-needed series avoiding sweep against the Houston Astros with that win yesterday. Eovaldi taking the mound here for the Red Sox here. He's looking to win his 3rd straight start. He has pitched a little bit better in his last few outings. Last time against Miami, very good. 5.1 innings of scoreless baseball, 3.58 ERA in his career against the Yankees. So not bad whatsoever. Michael King, 6th career start, 2nd this season for him, 2.86 ERA. However, 8.27 ERA as a starter, allowing 4 runs in just 2.1 innings in his last start against Detroit. So I actually kind of like Boston a little bit. I kind of like Jose's Red Sox here as a slight underdog in this game. Coming off the nice win against Houston, I like when a win snaps a losing streak. Sometimes you just get a little momentum and a little bounce in your step off that. And to me, I just trust Eovaldi a little bit more. Veteran pitcher. Michael King, his last time as a starter against Detroit, last time out, not good. And a Tigers lineup that's okay, but I don't think it's Boston's lineup by any stretch of the imagination. So I think the Red Sox are the slight more than a slight lead. I do like Boston. I'm going to split it up between the first 5 and full game. Connor, what do you like here? Red Sox, Yankees.
Yeah, I just can't trust King here at this price. Eovaldi's been pretty good for him, about as good as I think he could be this year. 6-2, 4 ERA, 58 Ks. He's pitched well against the Yankees and in Yankee Stadium. I don't want the Yankees. I know they're a little bit better. They're getting healthier. Stan's back in the lineup. These guys haven't hit Eovaldi too well either. I mean, Torres 5 for 20, Gardner 3 for 15, LeMahieu 2 for 18, Judge 3 for 13. Give me the Red Sox here, first 5, minus 105. I think that's the bet. I don't want the Yankees. Their bullpen's pretty good. I'd rather keep the game and cut it in half. So give me the Red Sox first 5 at minus 105 here.
All right, Red Sox first 5. Jose, you got to see your Red Sox avoid the sweep in person yesterday against Houston. What do you think? Can they roll that momentum into the Bronx tonight?
So I was there for 2 games. I got to watch Framber Valdez dazzle the Red Sox in game 3 of that series, 2-1 loss as well as that. And then the second game, I really came out and I encouraged them, guys. I gave them the pep talk they needed. And me and Martin got together and we figured it out together. It's a Venezuelan thing. I'm going to say, of course, I like the Red Sox today. I think they're going to win. I think that should come to no surprise to anyone. This is me biased and not biased. I love the Red Sox. I thought they would be favorites today with King on the mound. And I think Nathan Eovaldi is one of the most disrespected people in baseball. So I'm on the Red Sox today. But I'll use this time because I want to put this on your guys' radar and everyone else. As a gambling community, we need to know this stuff. Baseball, starting yesterday, I believe, or this week, they started cracking down on foreign substances on pitchers. Now, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but you saw Tony La Russa and the White Sox and I think it's the Cardinals too. They had the pitcher take off his hat, had to get a new hat, all that stuff. Garrett Cole, yesterday, pitched against the Rays, stinks. All of his spin rates, all of them, down very, very, very much. Fastball spin rate down 125%. Knuckle curve spin rate down 78%. Changeup spin rate down 77%. Slider spin rate down 50%. Pitchers are going to start getting touched now. This is what's going to happen. Pitchers are going to stop using the sticky stuff, and they're going to start getting hit more and more. And I think we'll see overs start to take off a little bit, slowly start going up and up this year. So I want to warn everyone, pitchers everywhere start going to have struggling a little bit. So I take the Red Sox today. And starting today, maybe it'll take some more overs.
Well, that's definitely something to keep in mind. We'll have to see that. Track the totals, maybe even more closely starting today and moving forward. We'll have to wait and see if there is any sort of basically emerging trend with that. Washington and Philadelphia, Scherzer and Wheeler, pretty good matchup here with this pitching duel with the Nats and the Phils. The Phillies are slightly favored at home, minus 115. 7 the total in this one. First 5 under certainly stands out in this game. Wheeler's been terrific, especially in this ballpark at Citizens Bank ballpark in Philly. For the season, Wheeler has a 1.88 ERA at home. Just terrific numbers. And you look at his last few home starts, 1 run allowed against Boston in 7.1 innings, 1 run allowed in 7 innings against Miami, a complete game shutout 3-hitter against the Brewers. So those are Wheeler's last 3 home starts. They've been dazzling. So that's trouble for this Nationals lineup that we know has not been a consistent lineup in terms of hitting. On the flip side, Scherzer, Mr. Consistent, 3 straight starts where he's given up 2 runs or fewer. He's given up 2 runs in each of his last 2 starts, but the Nationals lost both games because they gave him no run support. They got shut out against the Brewers when he pitched against them, and they scored 1 run for him against Cincinnati, and they lost that game 2-1. So this has underwritten all over at 3.5, in my opinion, in the first 5 innings. That's the way I'm going. I'm not involved in the side. Scherzer's pitching well. I don't want to go against him. I'm not going against Wheeler at home. No way, not with what he's done recently. So for me, it's just a look to the first 5 under. Connor, what's your take?
Yeah, the first 5 under 3.5's a look here. If I was getting a 7.5, I'd look the full game, but we're not. We're getting a 7. Like you said, Wheeler's been good. He had 14 Ks his last start against the Rays. Scherzer's been pretty good, especially lately, and he's been good against these Phillies. There's a few guys that have hit. Zimmerman's 10 for 33 with a couple homers. The Nats have, and then the other side, the Phillies, Herrera 15 for 43 with 2 homers. Matt Joyce 3 homers off Scherzer, and Miller, he's like what is he, 5 for 10 with 3 homers. Brad Miller off Max Scherzer. Maybe some Jack of the Day guys there. As long as there's solo shots to keep this game under, if you're betting it. That's kind of kept me a little tempted. These batting average and some of these the hitters average against here, but I'd lean under in this one, and I'm off the side. No advantage here for either side. I'd maybe be on Scherzer getting even money a little bit, maybe first 5.
Yeah, and by the way, keep in mind some injuries still lineup-wise for actually both teams. Schwarber, the big one for the Nationals, but Bryce Harper still out with that forearm injury till the middle of the month. Scott Kingery out, Didi Gregorius out. So a couple of sticks missing for the Phillies in particular. Jose, what do you think here? Nats, Phils.
Me and Jimmy and the chat were pretty shocked to see that Zach Wheeler's strikeout prop was at 6.5. We were all pretty dumbfounded by that, especially coming off of 14 Ks. I like that, but I mean, I made the case a couple minutes ago about pitchers struggling now a little bit. So I think this is one of the sneaky overs. I think this is a sneaky first 5 over. And Bled's asked a good question about pitchers, what pitchers regressing. You just have to think of it like you're throwing the pitch, and they want as much spin on that ball with these 2 fingers. So it's going to be fastball spin rates are going to go down, which makes them easier to hit. Obviously, they won't like rise or seemingly rise to the hitters, and sliders especially too, because they're literally coming off your finger like that. So you have all that sticky stuff on your finger. Fastball, slider, curveballs are the ones that are probably gonna struggle the most. But I really do think that this is one of those sneaky over spots. So I think last Tuesday we were all on a sneaky over and it hit pretty easily. I just have some caution when you're looking at that strikeout prop from Wheeler. It's low for a reason. That worries me. But I'll take the over, first 5 over 3.5 with these guys.
Yeah, the numbers are telling. This is why, like a game real quick, I'm going to just stay off. I wouldn't do it. Because of the numbers, the batting, that's what just scares the shit out of me to take the first 500. I could see it with these 2 pitchers, but in a game like this, I just cross it off. No reason to bet it.
Yeah. And the one little kryptonite for both of them is the home run ball sometimes can bite both of them. And that's all it takes is 1 or 2 of them, and there you go. You're in trouble early with the first 5 under. Miami, Pittsburgh. Miami's just in a rough shape right now. They just can't buy a win. Cody Poteet, Mitch Keller, the pitching match up here. We've got Pittsburgh, even money, 8 the total. It's Pirates or pass for me at this point. Like Miami's just in a world of hurt. 6 straight losses. They blew it yesterday against Pittsburgh in the opener. Cody Poteet on the mound, 2.95 ERA. Weird outing for him last week, his last start against the Red Sox. We went 4.1 innings. He rolled early on, and then all of a sudden, wham. I mean, they just got to him very quickly, and suddenly he was done after 4.1 innings. Mitch Keller hasn't been very good. He is coming off one of his better starts, believe it or not, against the Rockies, 5 shutout innings, but Rockies lineup, nothing great, and 6.54 ERA still, so I don't necessarily trust him fully. But Miami's just got a swell of negative momentum. That only way I could look here is Pittsburgh in this one. And by the way, both bullpens are really struggling, so this could be a live over. I lean full game over, but live over after the starters because both bullpens are having a tough time of late. What do you think, Connor? Yeah. Marlins, Pirates.
Yeah, both bullpens have been struggling. I wanted to mention that, and that's why I'd be on Poteet here in the Marlins. First 5, if I were going to bet it, I wouldn't go full game. I wouldn't want, anything with the bullpens. He got rocked against the Red Sox his last start. If he keeps the ball down, he could throw 5 good innings here. I think it's a little cheap. I'd be on the Marlins first 5 here, -110, rather than backing Keller. No way I can do it. He did 5 scoreless against the Rockies, 3-6, 6.54 ERA. I don't want that. No way. So Marlins first 5 or nothing here.
All right. Jose, anything for you here, Miami, Pittsburgh?
My play of the day on Jimmy's show is the aforementioned Mitch Keller over 5.5 strikeouts. You guys, I don't need to really say this, but Miami has obviously been struggling this last month. They're highest in strikeout percentage as a team in the last 30 days and 14 days. Their weighted runs created plus is in the bottom half of the league. BABIP's in the 10th worst in the league. So I'm pretty surprised, honestly, that Mitch Keller got only 5.5. His last couple of starts, he's been over five strikeouts in each one. I don't have it in front of me, but I read it off in Jimmy's show. It was like 6, 8, 6, 6. He had one really bad start against the Reds. We only went 2/3 of an inning, I think, or 2 2/3, and only got 2 strikeouts. But he's shown a ability to throw 5 innings and then throw about 6 to 7 strikeouts around there. So even if he does get touched up a little bit, like you said, he can give up like 3-4 runs. I can still have confidence he can get 6 innings or 6 strikeouts. It just depends on how long his leash is. And like you said, Ian, Pirates bullpen sucks. So,
yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Reason enough right there. Houston, Toronto, and Buffalo. We've got the Blue Jays here, slight favorites, -120 in this one. Total right now sitting at around, it looks like it's 9 or 8.5 now, actually, pretty much across the board. Hyunjin Ryu continues to be great for the Blue Jays, the lefty. He's given up 2 runs or less in 8 of his 10 starts this season. How's that for consistency? Very good numbers from him, no question. And you know what? I'm done just thinking automatically Houston's going to hit hard a lefty, because they were supposed to do something against Martin Perez yesterday, and they got completely shut down. And that tells me that Ryu can go out there and pitch well, I think, tonight against this Astros team. You can't hit Martin Perez. That dispels this notion that, hey, Houston's just going to hit every lefty they face. And this is one of the best lefties they've probably faced all year. Ryu's been Mr. Consistent for the Blue Jays. Zach Greinke on the mound for the Astros. He's pitched relatively decent this season. He did struggle against the Blue Jays, though, in his last start. He gave up 4, or the last time he faced them, I should say, 4 runs in 4 innings. Didn't walk a ton of batters. So I'm not involved in this game, but I lean to Toronto a little bit. First 5 in full game split with Ryu. I mean, Ryu's just been excellent. He's pitched in Buffalo a lot. And keep in mind, the Astros have not seen Ryu at all, other than, I think, Aledmus Diaz has minimal at-bats against him. So this is a new environment for them. Toronto had the day off yesterday, so they get to reset and recalibrate their bullpen, which is significant going into the start of this series. So I'm looking at Toronto here, first 5 in full game split if I were to bet it. Connor, what do you think here, Astros, Jays?
Yeah, this is going to be one I'm going to stay off. Ryu's been really good. Just everything's kind of gliding. He's pitched well. And for when I bet on him in the Blue Jays, the Astros hit lefties. They didn't. Yesterday, like you said, with Perez and the Red Sox, Greinke as a dog is kind of interesting. A few guys have hit him, a few haven't here for the Blue Jays. Maybe this game goes over the 8.5. We got high totals. I don't know. Maybe we see runs. I'm just staying away. Everything kind of, when I see everything colliding here, hit lefties, but a good left, I'm going to be off here. I'm off it.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Jose, what do you think here, Astros, Jays?
So I like the Astros in this game. I think yesterday it was kind of an aberration. I mean, they were facing Martin Perez, the king of Venezuela. He's the best pitcher in baseball, obviously. But they didn't have Carlos Correa in the lineup. He's one of their bigger bats yesterday. Yep. I like the Astros today to win a full game. But I think Ryu's strikeout prop is around 5.5. That was an interesting one as well. Only issue with that strikeout prop is the Astros have been lights out against lefties, like you said, Ian. Best strikeout percentage in the majors right now, lowest one. So I'm looking at it right now in Bovada at 4.5 at -150. You could probably bump that up and get a better number on that, but I think my lean here would be Astros. But I'll stay off of this one.
All right, Dodgers and Braves. Next up, we've got the LA Dodgers here, minus 130 road chalk, 8.5 the total in this game. Julio Urias and Ian Anderson, your pitchers here. Ian Anderson continues to pitch relatively consistently. He faced them in the National League Championship Series last year. Shut him out in the one game, 2 runs allowed in the other. Julio Urias just had a brutal start last time out against the Giants. 7 runs, 11 hits, 5 innings. Just wasn't very good whatsoever. Is it a bounce back spot for him? Kind of feels like it could be. Braves against lefties, definitely very concerning in my opinion. In terms of whether they're going to be able to hit Urias here in this game. The Dodgers, they're a tough team to bet right now. It seems like every time I back the Dodgers, which hasn't been often, but that's the day their bullpen blows it, or one of their starters doesn't pitch well, or the lineup gets shut down, and then I do go against them, and they have that kind of like that 14-3 kind of performance like they had the other day against the St. Louis Cardinals. So a lot of variance here. I don't trust Atlanta against lefty pitching, though, so I guess I'd lean slightly to the Dodgers here, but I'm not prepared to lay the price with them on the road. Connor, what do you think here?
Yeah, this is another one. I don't want to lay the price on the road right here with the Dodgers. And it could go either way. I could see these guys getting touched up, but the Braves haven't hit lefties. The Dodgers with Anderson, his strikeout prop's kind of interesting to me, over 5.5 minus 103. Dodgers walk a lot and stuff, but they swing and miss a ton too. The other one I thought of when I looked at the board real quick, Jose, was Evaldi. Over 5.5 plus 110. I'm always looking for a plus value on strikeout props. That'd be maybe one to look at today. I forgot to mention that. But this one, it could get over. The Braves at home have been over games. I could see the first 5 under here, 4.5. I could see these pitchers pitch well early. I'd lean that way here, first 5 under, 4.5 minus 110. But I'm probably going to stay off.
Just to add on to your Nathan Evaldi real fast, Ian, I'd probably agree with you, but for some reason people don't think of him as a strikeout pitcher. Connor, it's kind of weird. Against Miami, everyone, all the Red Sox broadcasts and people on Twitter were pretty surprised that he was K-ing guys up. 7 strikeouts against the Miami Marlins. I previously mentioned one of the worst strikeout teams, but 4 against the Phillies, 6 against the Angels, 4 against Oakland, and 5 against Detroit. He hovers around there, and then he pulls some shit out of his ass sometimes, because he 10 against the Chicago White Sox, 7 against the Rays, and then 7 against Miami. So it's really one of those guys. It's hit or miss, but it's definitely around that number, like you said.
Yeah, no doubt. Jose, all right, what do you like here, Dodgers and Braves?
It's a good question. I think I'm leaning towards the over here. It's a tough game. Like I said, Julio Urias and Anderson are both great pitchers, and I don't remember if this is I don't think Urias, Connor, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Urias wasn't a starter last postseason. He strictly came out of the bullpen, correct?
Yeah, just out of the pen.
Yeah, so this I'm gonna say this is a matchup from that NLCS. I think both teams will be pretty amped up, especially the Braves. I would lean towards the Braves here, honestly, and I would lean towards the over. I know the Braves have been in some shit recently. No shout out, I guess I should say, to Marcell Ozuna. That's kind of taking them out into the tanks. So I would lean the over and Braves today, but I think this will definitely be one of those games that will be more fun to watch in the bet.
And Sharpie, they have hit him lately. I just meant there's been struggles early in the season. Urias has been good all year. They've been good lately the last couple of weeks. And Urias is 7-2. I mean, just a game I just want to stay away from rather than get on either side really here. Yeah, Braves are starting to get hot a little bit. I think the value's with him and Anderson at plus 120 for sure.
And
maybe them first 5 cut the bullpen.
The over can come for sure, and on strikeout prop too for Sharpie. The Urias strikeout prop, I could see Urias going out there throwing 5 good innings. They take him out for whatever reason, and then the bullpen just crumbles.
Both bullpens. Yes. I totally agree. This would be.
By the way, the
Braves are sure.
Braves are 18-11 to the over at home this year. So I've mentioned that a bunch of times, that Atlanta's been really trending over the total at home. So I'm at the point where I avoid unders in that ballpark, their truest field. Yeah. All right, Tampa Bay, Texas. We've got Next up on the card here, we've got Fleming and Gibson, your pitchers in this one. Tampa Bay about minus 130, road favorites here. Total 8 across the board. This feels like the game just flat out to me doesn't smell right, doesn't look right, doesn't feel right. The Rays are coming off a big series against the Yankees. This looks very, very cheap. Doesn't this look absolutely cheap? Minus 125 against Texas, one of the worst teams going. They can't get out of their own way. They get bombed again by the Rockies last night. Now they are back home. The road losing streak gets parked for a little bit, but this is still a dirt cheap price to back the much better team, and yet the money's coming in on Texas and Kyle Gibson here. So I'm like I say, Texas. I would lean hard to Tampa Bay, but there's just something about this game that is putting me off, and I'm going to stay off. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, this one's got me a little standoffish too. One thing is Gibson it's been really good. I mean, 3-0, 2.24 ERA. Can it continue a little bit? I think maybe so tonight. I look to the first 5 under. I don't really love a side here. The Rays are the better team. Fleming's been done well when he's in there, and he should go probably at least 4 innings tonight, I think. I'd look to the first 5 under 4 here at even money. I lean that way. Rangers still can't hit, and the Rays aren't a great hitting team, so I'm leaning under here. Or full game maybe. Been taking a little more full games, but under. I lean under here.
Lean under. Yeah, exactly. It could be low scoring. Fleming's been good. Gibson's been good. I think that's part of the reason people still like what they see from Kyle Gibson, and why not? 2.24 ERA this season. He's been very, very good. Yeah, I still look at this price, and you're telling me Tampa Bay is minus 125 in this game against Texas when they're 21-9 on the road this season, the Rays. They've been road warriors, and Texas is 500 at home, and they're in a miserable funk right now. It is hard to believe at this point in time that it's this cheap on Tampa Bay. Yet there's something telling me, especially with people betting Texas here, that maybe I should stay off it. Jose, what do you think? Tampa Bay, Texas.
I'm gonna listen to the people. I'm gonna ride with Texas today. I think they're gonna be the dog of the day. I think they pull off the upset. They snap the losing streak. Gibby, I believe first start coming back off a groin injury. That concerns me, but like you said, he's been excellent all year. I think the Rays, come into this one kind of sleepy, and the Rangers take this one. I like the under as well. And Connor, I like your first 5 under. That makes a whole lot of sense to me.
All right, liking that first 5 under. Detroit Tigers, Chicago White Sox next up. We've got in this one a good, interesting matchup here. Spencer Turnbull, Dallas Keuchel on the mound. Chicago right now in that minus 160 range as home favorites, although it's dropped a little down to minus 145. Total 8.5 shaded to the under in this game. The White Sox are just rolling along pretty nicely overall. Their last 8 games, they're 6-2. They're coming off a 4-1 win against the Tigers yesterday in the series opener. Now they have to face Spencer Turnbull, though, who's been one of the better starters this season for the Tigers. 2.93 ERA over his last 4 starts, 1.67 ERA with 25 strikeouts in 27 innings. He's been absolutely terrific for the Tigers. But here's the problem. Against the White Sox, 7.63 ERA for Spencer Turnbull. It's not been good. He's given up 14 runs and 15.1 innings pitched in his career against the White Sox. So that does concern you. Moncada 3 for 5, Abreu 3 for 7. There's a couple guys that have hit him hard. Keuchel on the other side for the White Sox, getting the start for them. It's been an okay season for him, but a little bit more up and down. He was a lot better in May. April was not great for him. May was better, although in his last start he labored a little. 4 runs, 8 hits, 5 innings against the Baltimore Orioles. We'll see if he can bounce back here. The Tigers, a couple of them have hit Keuchel a little bit in the past here. So this game all around is really difficult. I mean, if you trust the current form of Spencer Turnbull, maybe you can go Detroit first 5, but I don't know. This White Sox lineup is a beast. Turnbull struggled against this lineup in the past, so that, despite his current form, concerns me enough where I'm going to lay off the Detroit side. I do lean to Detroit a little first 5 innings, but I don't like that Turnbull struggled against this lineup in the past. What do you think here, C-Mac? Detroit, Chicago?
Yeah. This one, I'd lean the White Sox here. I was trying to look up their team total over 4.5. They've hurt Turnbull. You're right. The Tigers, I think, can can get. They got a decent record against Keuchel as well. I think this is pretty cheap. I've liked the Tigers, and I like them in certain spots, especially lately. But I'd still lean White Sox here. I just don't know if I want to go first 5, maybe a half a run or full game run line here, plus 130. They are at home. I'm going to think about it. I think this game could be over, too. I think this could get an over 8.5 as well. It just all depends on the pitchers. I mean, if they're a little bit on, it could be an under. But if they're off, their home runs could explode here.
All right. As we wonder about Jose's wardrobe in the chat, we pitch it to wardrobe to Jose here, Detroit, Chicago.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll show my ass on the screen, but I think I'll go with the first 5 under. I mean, I won't simplify it that much. This is a weird game. Keuchel and Turnbull. We all know Turnbull from the no-hitter. Keuchel we know from his Astros days. Minus 120 is a fucking price to pay for it. And I've been getting brutalized by these White Sox. I feel like every other day on the Jimmy show, I pick the White Sox and somehow, and I don't even mean to do it, and I always freaking lose with them. So I'm going to stay off this game because the White Sox and I are not compatible right now. But I'll lean with the Conor Mac special first 5 under.
All right, Minnesota Twins, Kansas City Royals. We liked the Royals yesterday on the show, and they got it done. They'll try to win a second straight here. Kansas City, slight home favorites here at Kauffman Stadium, minus 115. The total, 9.5, shaded to the under. I got to admit, I'm pretty disappointed with both of these pitchers this season. Matt Shoemaker really has actually been able to stay healthy this season, but the problem is he's not pitched as well. That's been a problem for him this season. Coming into this start, his ERA is just 5.9. Against the Royals, he's been brutalized in the past. 0-5, a 10.92 ERA in his career against the Royals. You look at a lot of these sticks. Sal Perez, 9 for 17, 2 home runs. There's your jack of the day for me right there. This stood out like a sore freaking thumb. Salvador Perez, 9 for 17. Yesterday. 529 average, 2 home runs. He's feeling it yesterday. Absolutely jack of the day for me. You don't even have to stick around for the final segment to know that. And I think it's going to be tough sledding here. 348 collective batting average for Shoemaker against this Royals team. Keller, on the other hand, he has pitched a little bit better the last few starts, but you look at it, Donaldson has hit him hard in the past. Well, and that's a little bit concerning. I still don't think he's going to be able to shut down this Twins lineup fully going into this start. I like this game over the total. Very warm night in Kansas City. The wind is blowing out, by the way, to left field here in this game tonight. So I do like this game over the total. And I do lean a little to Kansas City. I think they're starting to gain some momentum. I still favor their side a little bit. So Kansas City, first 5 full game, but I like the over more than anything here, 9.5. I think we'll see runs. Very warm night, wind blowing out to left field in KC. Connor, what do you think here, Twins and Royals?
Yeah, 2 pitchers, over 5 ERAs. The one thing is Keller's been pretty good other than Donaldson. Simmons 3 for 10. I don't know. Cruz 1 for 12. Sano 1 for 10. Polanco 0 for 8. Some guys that haven't hit him. I'd still lean Royals again. I don't know. If you get 3 straight nights with a bunch of runs, maybe with these pitchers. Maybe look to the team total here. Cut out they win or lose. And I think the Royals have the better bats, especially right now, and the better hitters, like you said, Perez. I think they get to Shoemaker a little bit here. I lean Royals, and I like the team total over. Full game a little bit. Just leans right now, though.
Yeah, and by the way, yes, the home numbers for Keller are brutal. No, and that's another problem. His worst starts have been at Kauffman for some reason this year. So I think the Twins will hit him, and I think obviously the Shoemaker against the Royals has been a disaster for him in the past. So I think we see this game get to 10 or more runs scored. What do you think here in this one, Jose? Twins and Royals.
I'm going with the Royals. I'm going with the Royals in the over. I think we do see a lot of runs, and I'll ride with the Royals. I've got them at minus 118 right now. So like we always say, a little juicy, but maybe you parlay both those together. I know we don't often recommend parlays, but a same game Royals over parlay makes a lot of sense to me. It's Matt Shoemaker and Keller are just opposite sides of it right now. You know, Keller is supposed to be going up, Shoemaker going down, obviously. I think Keller can bounce back and pitch decently, but I just need to see it first. So I'll ride with the over, and I like the hot bats of the Royals to get another win here.
All right, we have the Cincinnati Reds now against the St. Louis Cardinals. Luis Castillo on the mound for the Reds as his nightmare season essentially continues. Kwang Hyun Kim on the mound for the Cardinals in this one. We've got right now St. Louis in that minus 135 home favorite range in this game. The total 8.5, pretty much across the board in this one. I think this game could go over the total. I really do. 8.5. It's a reasonable number. This is another environment where it's going to be a warm night, 80 temperatures in the 80s, just like we talked about with Kansas City, and a wind blowing out a little bit at Busch Stadium tonight. And St. Louis's lineup, I think, is capable of hitting Castillo. They're certainly not going to be fooled by Luis Castillo and anything he brings to the table. He's not fooling anybody. He's had a disastrous year, over 7 ERA on the season. Supposed to be the ace of this Reds pitching staff. He's been anything but for them this season. That's trouble. All 6 of his starts he lost in May, 8.04 ERA, just absolutely dreadful. Kim has been good against the Reds, so I am concerned a little about that, 0.54 ERA, but still, this is a low total. It's 8 for a warm night in St. Louis. I like the over here. I also like St. Louis, but I'm going to split it up with the first 5 and the full game. I do think the Cardinals win the game as well. You have to favor Kim at least a little bit here over Castillo with just how dreadful it's been for him. And by the way, the Reds against lefties, a little bit more feeble, 211 average, 3.8 runs per game against lefties. So good matchup for Kim, but I do think the game will see enough runs. Keep in mind, even if the one concern is that Kim shuts down the Reds, even if that does happen, the bullpens for both teams are spotty. St. Louis hasn't been locking it down lately with their bullpen. Cincinnati's bullpen's not good. So I think it still gets over the total late, even if, Cincinnati doesn't do a lot early. And I think St. Louis will score early against Castillo and add on against that Reds bullpen. So I do like the full game over 8.5, and I like the Cardinals first 5 and full game split. Connor, what do you think? Reds, Cardinals?
Yeah, I like the Cardinals here. I like the Reds yesterday, getting that plus money. They came through. I think this is a Cardinals spot early, and I kind of even like full game because the Reds bullpen's not very good, but I'm still fading Castillo until he gets going. And these Cardinals hit him pretty well here. Edmonds 6 for 16, Goldschmidt 6 for 26, Carpenter 6 for 22, Arenado 4 for 9. Give me the Cardinals first 5, a half a run. I like full game as well. I think I might do half there. And even I think there's runs, like you said. I think they can get over 4.5 team total at plus 105. I just don't trust Castillo. One thing Kim's done well is he's shut down the Reds, like you mentioned. They don't have a great average against him, some of these guys. So I like the Reds yesterday. I just got to stay off Castillo, and I think Kim could do well. I see some runs, and give me the Cardinals. I think they get to Castillo here.
All right, Jose, Reds, Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Give me the Cardinals. I like them first 5 minus a half at plus 110. My biggest concern about all of this, honestly, this isn't even with the game. I'll give you the pick. There you go. Is Luis Castillo is still going to stink, and his trade value should keep going down. And then he's going to trade to the Yankees, and then he's going to turn out he's going to be Pedro Martinez, essentially. And I'm going to be really sad.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Arizona, Milwaukee, we got Peacock and Freddie Peralta on the mound in this game. Milwaukee in that minus 200 favorite range, close to it. Total 8 shaded to the over in this one. I'm automatically on the over, and I know Freddie Peralta is very good and has been very good lately for Milwaukee, but Arizona's on. When I start to see these teams that are on 7, 8 games in a row, they've gone over the total, I ride it because it's a reason for it. They play every day. There hasn't been a day off for Arizona. The bullpen is freaking shot this bullpen for Arizona. Absolutely shot. They've been worn down into the ground. They can't get outs late in games. So even if Peralta pitches well and shuts down Arizona, Milwaukee, I think, is going to score a little bit against Peacock. He doesn't do much for me. Average pitcher. He's got a 4.9 ERA this season. He'll score against that bad bullpen. And the thing with Peacock, too, is he's not going to pitch deep into games. He's not giving you 6-7 innings. No way. You're going to see a lot of Arizona bullpen tonight, and that bullpen is just terrible right now. And they've been worn down, beaten down. They've thrown a lot of innings. They have nothing left in the tank. So the Brewers are going to score a lot of runs. The Brewers team total over. I like that quite a bit as well. In this game, Brewers run line, as David Sharp says, I wouldn't talk anybody out of that bet. This is just all Milwaukee all the time for me. Peralta's been good. Brewers run line, Brewers team total, full game over. I think there's a trifecta spot, to be honest with you. And by the way, Arizona, this road losing streak, we know they've been bad. What's the record overall? It's like 2-15 in their last 17 games, but they've lost 14 in a row on the road. Them and Texas, don't ever bet these two teams on the road right now. They cannot win on the road. 14 straight losses on the road for Arizona. It's probably going to be 15 after tonight. What do you think here, C-Mac, Arizona, Milwaukee?
Yeah, Peralta just keeps pitching really well. Obviously, he's a big favorite here. I lean Brewers first 5, a half a run. Yeah, this game could go over. Peacock's been pretty decent, especially away from Chase Field. He's pitched well. His ERA is not even 1 in 11 1/3 innings on the road, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, I'm just going to stick to the Brewers first 5. I think they get to him a little bit, and I think Peralta's been really good. I'm worried about the runs. This game could weird with Peralta on the mound be under, but I'm going to stay away. I got to stay off the bullshit. So I'm off. Other than the Brewers first 5.
No doubt about that. Matt Peacock's probably not going to pitch a ton of innings here. But like I say, that's the key too. I think you're going to see a lot of Arizona bullpen. No question about that. Jose, what do you like here? Arizona, Milwaukee.
Connor, I'm gonna get to the alternate spread section of this program. Connor, might I interest you in a first 5 -1 at even money? So that's pretty good. I've got it minus a half at 145, minus 145. So I thought that was interesting to get all the way down to even.
You could take the 1. I don't do that too often. This game could be tied though after 5. Surprisingly, I don't know.
How about an alternate spread of minus 2.5 for plus 150 full game?
No, I think that's too many. not with the Diamondbacks have been hitting a little bit lately, but Peralta's been dominant. Just a shitty game. The more I talk about it, it's making me sick. Diamondbacks, Brewers, get off. It's just making me want to get off it. The more you talk,
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Freddie Peralta's an extra pitcher. Bet the over, and let's move on.
All right, we've got next up, we've got the Oakland Athletics, Colorado Rockies, Frankie Montas, John Gray pitching matchup here. We've got Oakland minus 130 at Coors, the total 11 pretty much across the board here in this one. Look, the Colorado Rockies, are they starting up a win streak? Break them up, break up the Rockies. 4 straight wins for them, 3 of them against a bad Texas team. So let's not get carried away. But nevertheless, 4 straight wins for the Rockies. They've got to face this Oakland team, though. We'll have to see how they fare here in this one. Montas versus Gray. Montas has been better his last 3 starts. They're actually 0-3 in his last 3 starts, but he hasn't pitched terribly. 3.24 ERA for him in the past. He's has pitched once at Coors Field, 3 runs, 8 hits, 4.1 innings a few years ago, and 0-2 versus the Rockies in the past. Meanwhile, John Gray, for the most part, has been pretty serviceable, pretty solid. 3 runs allowed in each of his last 2 starts. The Oakland Athletics have never gone up head-to-head against John Gray. So this is definitely what you think could be a little bit of an advantage for him going into this game. I'm off this game completely. Oakland's the better team. This still feels a little bit cheap here. Oakland just laying this price, but you got to respect what the Rockies have done at home. You got to respect the way John Gray's pitched, especially at home. So I'm not involved in this game. Connor, what do you think? Oakland, Colorado.
Yeah, Gray's got hit really hard, but most of it that's been on the road. He's been really good at home. 4-1, 2.36 ERA. Just don't trust it though. If Montas, he's 5-5, 4.45 ERA. He can look good. He can get hit. I'd lean the first 5 under 6, but it's just a lean. I'm going to stay off this game as well. You kind of think the A's are cheap here. The Rockies have hit a little bit lately, but I still don't trust their lineup. I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point about Oakland with Montas. He's a finesse pitcher. And those type of pitchers sometimes go to die at Coors Field,
Yeah.
especially with the weather really warming up now that we're into June. So could be trouble. And look, the Rockies 5-2 this season, and John Gray's 7 home starts. So they've been winning with him on the mound in this ballpark. So the more I look at it, there's things that point to this home dog here. What do you think, Jose? Oakland, Colorado?
I'd roll with the over for sure, and I do like the Rockies here because I've never been a big Frankie Montas guy. I feel like I always bet on him, and he always lets me down. But I will be interested to see. This is one of the games, like you said, Coors Field altitude, the spin rates go down. Let's see if Frankie Montas' spin rates are down significantly after this game and after his next start too, because like you finesse pitchers, they need the sticky stuff, or they needed the sticky stuff, because everyone else is using it and all that stuff. So I would just pay attention to that, or I guess I will be the one paying attention to that. But just beware if you're taking Oakland today. I like the overs more than the Rockies, but I'll take the overs. 11, I think it's at right now, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is a high number. I don't love it at 11, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes here for Montas in that environment. Definitely have some question marks for sure. And by the way, these teams like Colorado, Texas, and Arizona, if you're going to bet them, just bet them at home. Colorado's actually 19-12 at Coors Field this year, but they're 4-22 on the road. 4-22 on the road. The Colorado Rockies this year. So, this is the place to back them. Definitely not away from Coors Field, no question. Seattle, LA Angels, Robert Duggar and Shohei Ohtani. The matchup here, pitching-wise in this one, Angels -160, home favorites. The total 9, shaded to the under in this one. Robert Duggar on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. Not good at all is the best way to sum up his starts, the last two, especially the last one. 5 runs, 3.1 innings against the Oakland Athletics. Don't really trust him here against the LA Angels lineup. And again, the Angels against a righty that's struggling. That's usually a better matchup for them. Shohei Ohtani, look, they're 0-4 in his last 4 starts, but the one start he gave up 1 run in 4 innings against Houston, or 1 run in 7 innings against Houston, and somehow they lost. He gave up 2 runs in 5 innings against Cleveland. They lost. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings against Oakland. Again, pitched well enough to win, Ohtani, and they didn't win. That's the problem. 0-4 in his last 4 starts. I definitely favor the Angels. I don't see much to like about Robert Duggar for the Seattle Mariners. But the fact remains, you're laying a big number here with the Seattle Mariners in this game if you're going to back them. And they did beat the Angels 6-2 in the series opener last night. And the Angels are just one of those teams. I'm not comfortable laying a number of this magnitude with them. Just not doing it. So I'm not involved in this game either way. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, the number's high. I like the Mariners last night. No way I want to back Duggar here. If you look Ohtani, I don't want to lay -160, and I don't want the Angels bullpen full game. I'd go the Angels first 5 at half a run and cut this down. And last time against the A's, man, they couldn't just scratch one across 0-0, traded zeros with Manaea through 5 innings. But I think I'd go first 5 at half a run in this one. Hopefully the Angels can get some off Duggar early and get there. So I'd be on the Angels a half run here. Cut it out. Don't go full game. Even though that bullpen's been better, they've got a few guys back. The Angels, I still don't trust that bullpen at all. So I'd be on first 5, a half a run here with Ohtani and the Angels.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hit the like button. Please do that. I mean, we got to let you know. Yeah. Help us out. Definitely hit that like button.
Hit the like.
It helps out the channel and the show. Jose, any thoughts here and opinions for Mariners Angels?
Man, this is a weird game. You guys know me. I fucking love Ohtani. I bet Ohtani strikeouts every time he comes out. I bet his home run every time he pitches. So I'll roll with him there. I like the first 5 too, and that was the tame play of the day as well from Matt Randall. Angels minus a half. So I'm right there with you guys. Ohtani. All
right, Angels. Looks like the first 5. The taint's on it. Matt Randall, good stuff. I lean that way. I just don't love the price enough. What next up? We've got Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants. Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, and for the San Francisco Giants. Oh, we don't know yet who's on the mound.
Yeah, I don't have anybody.
Starter. So Not much to say. Look, I'm not surprised the Cubs lost yesterday. What did I say? Yeah, they were playing great ball. All of it was at Wrigley Field. They got to show me what they can do on the road. And sure enough, they go on the road. They get bombed 7-2 last night by the Giants, who have a great home record. So I'll tell you right now, I'm not backing Arrieta on the road. I'll say that right now. It would be San Francisco or pass, but we got to wait to see who starts. Brief thoughts, Connor, if any, on this game.
I'm with you. I'd lean to the Giants without a pitcher, but like we talked about yesterday, Giants first 5, half a run. I was a little scared the Cubs averages, but they still didn't get it done on the road. Giants came out early and got runs. Arrieta on the road is not a place to be. I'd back him a little bit at home in certain spots, but I lean Giants here.
All right, lean to the Giants. All right, Jose, what are your thoughts here?
There's been speculation that the Giants starter is going to be Scott Kazmir.
Not Kazmir, the old reclamation.
He could get.
If we get a Kazmir Arrieta matchup today, wow. Well, geez. Just give me that first 5 over. Give me that first 5 over if it happens. I don't have lines. It would definitely be Chicago or Giants or pass for me. I can't bet Arrieta.
Yeah, you know what's shocking to me? This is a weird stat. And sometimes you're going to have these weird stats. It's weird. They don't make sense. Jake Arrieta, he's got a 4.41 ERA this season, which isn't great. And the under is 8-1 in his 9 starts this year. That's pretty stunning because it's not like it's because he's pitched well. Yeah. Yet these games have stayed under the total. I'm not sure this will if Kazmir is opposing him on the mound tonight for the Giants. So we'll have to wait and see who they send out there.
They got a pretty good bullpen. Cubs bullpen's been pretty good.
They do. Cubs do have a good bullpen. I think that has played a part too. They've shut the door. After Arrieta leaves the game during his starts. All right, Mets and Padres final game on this Friday card tonight. In this one, we've got Joey Lucchesi taking on Blake Snell for the San Diego Padres. We've got the Padres here right now around -180. Home favorites in this one, total 7 across the board. This is an over spot for me. The Mets are starting to hit. Snell ain't right. And look, they're pricing this total at 7, thinking, oh, this is Blake Snell. This is a premium arm. This is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Not this year he ain't. Not this year he is. I mean, this is definitely a Blake Snell that is not pitching like he did last year or 2 years ago. He is struggling with command a little bit. He's leaving the ball up in the zone. He's getting tattooed as a result, giving up some loud, hard hit contact, which has gone up against him this year. Again, the Mets lineup is getting healthier. I think they'll hit him a little bit. On the flip side, you know what I think about Lucchesi. He's been awful. 6.56 ERA on the season. The Padres, are starting to get some of their bats back. Tatis played last night. Trent Grisham is coming back into the lineup now as well. They get the 4-3 win last night against the Mets to snap that 4-game losing streak. They actually did pretty good against Walker, got him out of there 5 innings, and Walker had been pitching quite well. If they can do that damage against Walker, they should have some success here tonight against Joey Lucchesi. And on the flip side, the Padres, who are a little bit better the Mets, who are a little bit better against lefties than righties in terms of runs per game, should be able to hit Snell a little bit. This is just a cheap total. Only because of they price it at 7 because it's Blake Snell, because of the name that's on the mound. But the reputation is he's good. Right now he's struggling. So I think it's a good value here, over 7 Mets Padres. Connor, what do you think here, Mets Padres?
Yeah. Sharpie, like the first 5 over. Yeah, that could get there at 3.5. I'd go full game. Blake Snell has not been good all year. As of his 11 outings, he's had 1 quality start. You got to think he gets better, but we'll be here. Lucchesi, the old Padre, I can't back him. I like the Mets kind of at this price, but I can't back Lucchesi here. I think this could get over 7. I think it's pretty low. I think some runs are scored until Snell starts pitching well, and that traded for him and they want him. I don't want to back the Padres. Not laying this number here. So I'd be on the over as well, full game. I'd go full game over 7, -150.
By the way, this will strengthen the over argument for this game. You look at San Diego's last 8 games in terms of the runs in the game. 11, 13, 19, 11, 9, 7, 7, 7. So they haven't had a game below 7 runs in their last 8 games, San Diego. You look at the New York Mets, their last 5 games,
Finally,
15, 8, 11, 13, and then they had 7 last night. But still, their last 5 games, not a single game has fallen below 7 total runs. I think this is outstanding value. Win or lose with 2 guys that we can't trust on the mound at the moment, over 7 for me here. What do you think here, Jose, Mets Padres?
I love how everyone's come back around on Blake Snell. I was off on Blake Snell. I was not a Blake Snell guy in Tampa Bay, and now it's all come back together, which is amusing. I think he's actually underrated for everyone shitting on him. I just think you just let him get to the postseason. But as I say that, I was looking at his strikeout prop at 6.5, 7-ish around there, and under his plus money. I was like, well, if we think he's going to struggle, maybe he doesn't strike out as many guys. Maybe he goes shorter. Who knows? But I like your overlook a lot, Ian. I think I would probably roll with that. Other than that, I maybe stay off, lean towards the under and strikeout props, but the over for sure.
The one thing you could say about Blake Snell and his defense is he's got a really good home ERA at Petco, 2.1 ERA. He's actually got pitched a lot better. A lot of his
70 strikeouts too.
Yeah,
still getting swing and miss, but walks.
Yeah, he's better hope that home ballpark brings him some magic because his current form has still been brutal. 9.24 ERA for Snell in his last 3 starts. I still think we got over that number. All right, great stuff, Jose and Connor. We'll get to Jack of the Day, and we'll get to best bets in just a second. But before we do that, as we do at this time of the show, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, check them out for great food, great drinks, live music, and more. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off. Make sure you take care of yourself, guys, out there with the male grooming products of Manscaped, promo code PubSports, and you'll get 20% off. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. NHL and NBA playoffs ongoing, MLB daily, golf coming up with the U.S. Open. The next major on Father's Day weekend. Football is here in 2 months, so get yourself prepared. Get an account at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin is an accepted currency for your initial deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. And it is time for the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
There it is. It's time for Jack of the Day. I'm going to keep it brief, simple. I gave it out already in this show. Spoiler alert, Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals against Matt Shoemaker. Love that. I think it's the best, one of the best home run prop options on the board today. Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals. Conor Mac, what do you like, Jack of the Day?
Paul Goldschmidt, Jack of the Day. I think he gets a couple. He's 6 for 26 with 2 home runs. Also, though, look at those Phillies, Herrera and Miller. They've got homers off Scherzer. Might not give up a ton of runs, but he could give up a jack or 2. So those could be guys you might want to sprinkle on as well.
All right, Jose, any home run candidates for you?
How about a little Tyler O'Neill? To go with your Paul Goldschmidt? Connor, I'll take him. Oh, well, there we go. Even better. I'll 2 jacks for the Canadian today then.
All right, yes. Tyler O'Neill played a little defense the other day. He made a really nice catch, I remember, a few games ago as well. So good to see him having success. That guy battled mental health issues as well. Really, really struggled with some mental health problems in the past. So it's good to see him overcome that now in the big leagues for the St. Louis Cardinals. Bledsoe and Nolan Arenado, Jack of the Day candidate against. Looks like we're picking on Luis Castillo quite a bit here today for the Cincinnati Reds. It's hard to blame you with what we've seen out of him lately. All right, best bet time for this Friday edition of the show. Conor Mac, you're up. What do you like for best bet?
You just talked about him. I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm going to pick on Castillo some more. I like the Cardinals full game, -135. But like I said, I'm also going to go first 5.5 a run at +110. I think that's a good kind of double bet, but really full game. I like -135 Cardinals here. I think they get to Castillo, they get to that bullpen, and they win today.
Yeah, and the 30th bullpen in baseball, the Reds. So, yeah, that's why the full game's a good option. St. Louis -135 against Cincinnati. Best bet for Conor Mac. Jose, best bet.
This is a tough one. I was split between two, honestly. I've been going back and forth here looking at them. The Astros today at +110 look very tasty. I like that. But I think I'm going to put my money where my mouth is with all this spin rate talk I was saying earlier, how pitchers might be struggling today. And I'm going to take the over in the Zach Wheeler Scherzer game today. Over 7 at -105. I've got it at right now. I think these are post premier pitchers in this league, and I hope they get touched up a little bit today. 3 runs each from both of them.
Yeah, that's the thing about 7 totals, and I'm going to use a total of 7 for my best bet as well in just a second. But all you need is 3 runs from both sides, and the worst you can do is push. That's the great thing about when you bet over at 7.
Yep.
You liken that with the Washington-Philadelphia game over 7, best bet for Jose Bouquett. And I'm over 7 as well, but it's going to be for the Mets-Padres for me, the game we wrapped up the show talking about. New York Mets, San Diego Padres, over 7, -115. We don't need much. We've got Lucchesi struggling. We've got Snell struggling. Snell has been better at home, but we don't need much. Mets get him for a couple, 3, 4 runs. We're looking golden here for this total tonight. I think it gets there. Cashed my best bet yesterday, Arizona, Milwaukee over the total. We're going to come right back to another over tonight. New York Mets, San Diego Padres, over 7, -115. That'll be my best bet for this Friday MLB card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everyone in the chat for tuning in. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that. We will be back in a couple hours, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Pub Hub. Me, Conor Mac, Ski Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh. We'll talk about the only game tonight, Clippers Mavericks, Game 6, do or die for the Clippers. But we'll also talk about series prices for the 3 second-round matchups that have been set already. We'll talk a little Nuggets Suns. We'll talk a little Hawks Sixers. We'll talk a little Nets Bucks. Looking forward to those series, so we'll break those down as well on today's show. Join us for that on the NBA Pub Hub. For Conor Mac and Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday afternoon. We'll see you in a couple hours for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.
Fuck the Yankees.